Hey, welcome back, San Diego Saints. This Sunday morning, December 8th, at 11 a.m. on the radio, KPRZ 106.1 on the FM, 1210 on the AM, or if you have a tablet or a computer, just type in kprz.com and then click onto the Listen Live button to stream. We're continuing our story about how do we ascertain the Father's will, because we said last show that's the metric that Jesus uses as to whether we get our name written in the Lamb's Book of Life or whether we enter into the kingdom, is to figure out the Father's will. And then what we talked about the last show was in Romans 12, it says in order to find out His will, we have to transform ourselves by the renewing of our minds. So we took the next step and said, well, what does that look like? 2 Corinthians 10, 3 through 5, taking every thought captive to make them obey Christ. Well, so last week I told you about a remote control with the pause button. I taught that in the jails, changed to jail. But now we didn't finish this part, and that is when you have the frozen static thought, what do you do with it? And then we basically said you go to the Father and you ask a question and said, Father, I have this frozen image. Did you just give me this thought that I have in my mind frozen? And then you listen for the answer. If He says it didn't come from Him and it didn't come from you, with a neutral question of what do I have for breakfast this morning or what socks do I wear with this outfit, if it's taking you to a future zone where you're fearful, or it takes you to the past where you get depressed because you can't change your past, and you just hear this broken record, it's probably not God's thought. Well, what do you do with it? Jesus told us that we have the authority, which is the legal permission. Whatever we bind on earth is bound up in the second heavens. You can take that thought and you can bind it, renounce it, break it, and then cast it out of your mind, because God has given you the authority, the legal permission, to decide what stays in your mind, what remains in your thoughts. And once you exercise that authority, Luke 10:19 says, we have our authority trumps Satan's power. That's how you walk free. That's how you get delivered. That's what we call freedom and liberation from the power of the enemy, because you've taken authority over your thought life. So I'm thinking, if the inmates can do it, can't we? That's what we're going to talk about this week. So, hey, tune in this Sunday morning, December the 8th at 11 o'clock, again on the radio, KPRZ, 1210 on the AM, 106.1 on the FM, or if you have a computer, type in kprz.com and click onto the Listen Live button and you can stream it. Hope to see you then. God bless.